During the time of the Disney Renaissance era, The Hunchback of Notre Dame was released in 1996, and there was a balance of both good and bad reviews on this film. But it was a masterpiece though, being an animated film filled with darker tones, dark plot, and a little bit of unnecessary goofy humor. But this was a gem that was so underappreciated during the Renaissance. It has beautiful animation, beautiful music by Steven Schwartz and Alan Menken, but the film was bashed for not following true to the story it's based upon. And yes, I have read the book, and the book is way darker than the animated Disney film. For example, Frollo was an archdeacon instead of a judge, Phoebus in the book was a major douchebag and a player, and of course, Quasimodo was blind in one eye and was deaf due to ringing the bells for so long. And the ending of the book is so depressing, which I am super thankful that Disney had to clean it up a bit to make it more kid-friendly, even though there is some adult references like prejudice, genocide, religion, and sexuality. However, a while back, after watching the Fangirls video topic on the Hunchback of Notre Dame's parents' book references in the real ending video, and looking back at the animated film myself, I could see some novel references that the film actually portrayed a bit. Does anyone notice that there's no reflective light on the left eye of Quasimodo? And I think this is the way that Disney made a reference to the book, portraying the fact that Quasimodo has one blind eye. Maybe this is Disney's little move to show that maybe they're following true to the story just a teeny bit. Maybe that's on me, but I want you guys to debate that in the comment sections below. Now, I get why the Victor Hugo fans would bash on the Gargoyles characters a lot, and I even mentioned this in my review on the film. I like the Gargoyles characters, but I understand that they made unnecessary goofy humor while trying to be Quasimodo's consciences, and I can stand that this could be Quasimodo's psychological mind trying to encourage him to explore the outside world around him, while Frollo, being an abusive, racist, and lustful judge, puts negative thoughts on Quasimodo's mind. Now, I know I have been hearing a lot of people saying that the Disney film should have followed true to the story, but there is a bit of a spoiler of the story for anybody who has not read the book. It's really depressing, and it really has a depressing ending. For example, Frollo successfully kills Esmeralda. Quasimodo grabs Frollo and throws him off the cathedral while saying, "There lies everything I have ever loved." And after that incident, he finds Esmeralda's corpse and holds it until he dies of starvation, and years later when they find the skeletons and tries to separate them, they crumble into dust. That's kind of an extremely dark and depressing ending for a Disney film. Now, again, as I mentioned earlier, Disney had to clean up the story a lot to make it a little bit kid-friendly yet dark at the same time. Now, they did recently made a musical version of The Hunchback of Notre Dame, following true to both the Victor Hugo story to the T, while trying to have some similarities of the Disney film. It's a really good musical, and I really recommend that you guys look up the soundtrack on YouTube, even though we would never see it on an actual Disney musical stage. Thanks a lot, Frozen. But the point I'm making is, this is an underrated Disney gem that I recommend everybody would watch it. Even though it is dark and has serious adult themes, it is a beautiful masterpiece that I recommend everyone to watch, both old and young.